Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Ambassador's Lounge again. Today, we are again going to discuss the developments in the Middle East, particularly the signing of the framework agreement between United States and Iran, which happened last Wednesday. It is still in force, but there are certain provisions which Iran particularly had laid in the agreement, which says that the peace will continue to prevail in the region as long as Lebanon is not attacked by Israel. Otherwise, they think that all the bets will be off. So today what happened is that when everything was going fine, Israel again attacked Lebanon. And in retaliation, in response, Iran said that it is going to close the Strait of Hormuz. Now, closing the Strait of Hormuz was the precondition, the foremost precondition laid down by United States, which said that as soon as the framework agreement would be signed, the Strait of Hormuz would be deemed to have been opened by Iran, which happened, and normal trade started flowing through the Strait of Hormuz to the rest of the world. But again, Iran has closed it. That is the latest news that we heard before we started off this program. There are lots of things. The framework agreement contains 14 points, and it is generally being seen as victory for Iran because a lot of analysts and critics are saying, critics of Mr. Trump particularly, are saying that Mr. Trump has conceded a lot of ground to Iranians. In exchange, he hasn't got really anything except a restatement from Iran, its avowal that it is not going to pursue nuclear weapons. Its nuclear program will be discussed in subsequent part 2, I would say, part 2 agreement, which is going to be negotiated as soon as possible. It is being heard that United States negotiations team consisting of Mr. Jared Kushner and Mr. Witkoff is already in Switzerland. But Mr. Arakchi is yet to fly to lead Iranian delegation to the negotiations. So as the situation unfolds, we'll certainly be talking about it. But let me introduce my panelists here who are going to discuss the unfolding situation in the Middle East, particularly the framework agreement. I have with me Ambassador Imran Yawar and Ambassador Asif Durrani. Welcome to the show. Well, gentlemen, let's begin by getting your views on the framework agreement. Do you really see it as a victory for Iran and a defeat for, or maybe, Mr. Trump has not really gotten much out of it? Mr. Durrani, please.
I think it's a victory for peace overall, and I don't think that Trump is a loser. If Iran joins the mainstream, that would be a big plus. And there'll be many business opportunities open up for Iran and for the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. Right now, Iran's OPEC quota is 4 million barrels per day, but its capacity is hardly 2 million barrels because of lack of investments in its oil and gas sector. So, and those, it can enhance its capacity, its production through investment, and that can come from the United States, mainly because US has been a leader in oil and gas explorations as well as extraction. And secondly, Strait of Hormuz for the first time Iran used to its advantage, and United States
quite effectively.
United States had been checkmated, and in fact, its all might could not open it, despite the fact that it also
with all the military might that it had,
So it was not possible for them. So here, I think, and then it has also proven a point. And it, in fact, you can say the nuclear weapons, which we were talking about, that Iran was in pursuit of nuclear weapons, have proved wrong because the geographical advantage which Iran had was far superior than the nuclear weapons. The United States and Israel both are nuclear weapon states. It was of no use for them. And Iran, in fact, damaged their interests, whether it was in the Gulf states or whether Israel's invincible Iron Dome, Iran could penetrate into that system. So it was a tit for tat. Of course, Iran also incurred a lot of damages. It had suffered the decimation of its leadership, both political and military, and at the same time, destruction of
civilian infrastructure, of course,
destruction of infrastructure, all
and
infrastructure,
petroleum, etc., facilities,
all infrastructure. You can talk. So here, I think. So in that background, when you see, so this agreement is a victory for peace.
All right. Okay. Yeah. What, Imran?
This agreement, Asif says it's an agreement for peace. Yes, but then how I see is that it is a commitment. It's more of a commitment by the two sides to reach an agreement for peace. It is a deal to continue discussions, negotiations for enduring peace, and of course for the sticking points. Now the issue is that both sides are claiming victory, which is strange because only one side can be victorious. Both sides cannot be victorious. And this is an agreement where the success of this understanding, more than an agreement, it's an understanding. And the success of this understanding does not depend largely on Iran or on the US. It depends on two parties which are not part of the understanding. One is Hezbollah, one is Israel. And as we have seen since the signing of this understanding, despite the ceasefire, twice Israel has violated, and Israel has violated, Hezbollah has retaliated, and both sides claim that it was not their fault, it's the other side which has violated. So one issue which I see in this understanding is that there is no enduring mechanism to ensure which side actually violates this agreement. You see, when there is a large deficit of trust, when there is a large deficit in understanding, it is always important that there is a neutral monitor which judges or which decides which side is actually sticking to the agreement and which side is violating. So now, as Asif also said, that this agreement it has opened the Strait of Hormuz. The blockade has been removed, naval blockade by the US. Iran has removed its restrictions. Of course, there's a temporary setup, but I think it would be resolved pretty soon. It won't last long because both sides, be it US, be it Iran, they both want that. They don't want to return to war. They want to give peace a chance. And Iran has reiterated that it wants diplomacy to work, and so has USS, irrespective of the fact that both sides, they have been posturing, and their posturings are quite tempestuous. But still, they want peace. They want the negotiations to continue. You said Jared Kushner is there, Steve Witkoff is there. Our foreign minister and deputy prime minister, he's in Cairo, for the R4 meeting, and they will be discussing this thing. Our interior minister Naqvi, he is in Tehran. He is trying to persuade Iranians, because there was a rumor that probably Iranians wanted this part 2 of the talks to start after Muharram. Probably they are trying to convince that let's not be delayed. Let's start
because the clock is ticking.
The clock is ticking, absolutely. Yeah. So. The understanding which we have seen, it's a good step. Both, which, as I said, is indicative of the fact that both sides want to start part 2 to discuss the contentious issues. And we hope that that contentious, when it comes to contentious issues, there will be further understanding.
Wonderful. Well, gentlemen, I would like to draw your attention to the slightly nitty-gritty of the 14-point framework agreement, as I said. Well, detractors of Mr. Trump particularly are saying that there are certain things which are very crucial, which should have been included in the framework agreement, have been missing from it. Foremost is the support of Iranians to the proxies, Hezbollah, as you mentioned, that there is no mention of Iran, whether Iran would be, eschewing its support to its proxies or not, its allies. It is not part of the agreement, number one. Number two, for instance, it says that the dilution of the 900 pounds of highly enriched uranium, which is up to 60%, is still existing on the Iranian soil, will take place on site. And I underline the word on site, will take place, which means that what Mr. Trump had been demanding from the beginning, that the material should be handed over to some entity outside Iran, which will be the custodian of this material. Now, this is going to take place on site. Now, how do you see that? Don't you think that Mr. Trump has perhaps, gained less in terms of proxy support and nuclear thing?
I don't think so. As far as nuclear thing is concerned, that would be done under the IAEA safeguards and under the IAEA supervision, because that would be the neutral mechanism, if at all Iran would agree. And more importantly, when you talk about that 440 or 60 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium, that is going to be, in a way, they have yet to find it.
Absolutely, yeah.
It is buried.
To access it, of course, which is spread all over the country.
For that, you will be needing expertise.
Absolutely, yes, yeah.
So that again would happen under IAEA safeguards. And then if they think that it should have been done immediately, no. That's why this 60 days period is where they are going to discuss the nitty-gritty as far as nuclear issues.
How to proceed further, in the matter, of course.
So you can't immediately,
of course,
do
yes,
it.
yeah.
It is not available on the shelf.
It's a tall order, certainly.
You can take it away.
Absolutely.
This is not the case. So those who are criticizing Mr. Trump, I don't know whether they have looked at this aspect of the issue. Main thing was that war has stopped, and this MOU talks about permanent termination of the war. That's very important. And then it will give sigh of relief not only to Iran and United States or Israel, but the entire Gulf region. Rather, and then if there's a smooth flow of oil and gas and other resources through Strait of Hormuz, that's a big plus. You have already seen the oil prices have come down.
Yeah, they are already down.
And in Pakistan, you have felt the impact immediately. So that's a positive sign.
Yeah.
And this you can then amplify elsewhere in the world that is going to. So I think the dividends of this peace are far better and much better than what we had during the stalemate period. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you see, first of all, one thing is crystal clear. Mr. Trump's red lines, which he established before the war, even during the war, they've all evaporated.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about nuclear file, you talked about proxies that they were, that they were not mentioned in the 14 points of the understanding.
Peace plan, yeah.
Of the understanding.
Yep.
Well, it's all his fault. You see, what has taken greater priority, what has taken greater importance is opening of the Strait of Hormuz. Now, Strait of Hormuz issue was not there before the war. It is an issue which was created as a result of the war. So Iran, I think, benefited from that. In its negotiations, Iran realized that Strait of Hormuz was more important for Mr. Trump because it was affecting global economy. It was affecting economy of the US. It was affecting the US voters. So it became more important for that. And Iran used those negotiation tactics to demote the importance of missiles, to demote the importance of nuclear file, to demote the importance of proxies. And they focused more on opening the Strait of Hormuz, removing the Iranian restrictions, and the US blockade. So in that respect, I think Iran has gained more. Iran has a new leverage at its hand, which it has used very effectively. And as Asim
Can we call it a weapon of mass disruption?
Weapon of mass disruption. It has proven it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So yes. They have used it, and in future, are they going to use it? How effectively are they going to use it? And even this understanding says that this arrangement would be for 60 days. That is the Strait of Hormuz would be open.
Well, when no toll will be, it will be toll free.
After that, Iran and Oman will discuss in collaboration with the neutral states.
Asif, one of the important things mentioned in the 14-point plan is that anything that is happening in Lebanon, for instance, if Israel continues to attack Lebanon, then, as I said, the bets are off. Now, we all know that Mr. Netanyahu, or Israel as such, has not been part of the negotiations of this particular peace deal and is still out of the loop. Now, Mr. Netanyahu has also clearly said that he reserves the right to attack Hezbollah as and when it feels threatened, from them. And now this is a precondition for the Iranians that if Lebanon or Hezbollah is attacked inside Lebanon, then they will certainly call the bets off. So how do you see that Mr. Netanyahu is going to play the role as a spoiler? Does it, or because his survival is at stake, political survival is at stake, he wants to continue hostilities. He wants to continue divert attention, of his populace from his own follies and crimes that he has committed. And also, I would like to have your valuable comments on the rift that has been created between Mr. Trump and Netanyahu personally. Mr. Netanyahu has used expletives, and has in a way dubbed Mr. Netanyahu as a spoiler, potential spoiler. How do you see this relationship, and also Mr. Netanyahu's role as a spoiler in this whole game?
I think that this is interrelated. Israel sees Hezbollah as a rival, and which enjoys Iran's support. And this is not new. After Sabra and Shatila massacre, Hezbollah came into being, actually.
Yeah.
And at that point, Iran had a support, but it was not, in fact, paratrooped in Lebanon. So it grew from within the Shia ranks in Lebanon. And we shouldn't forget that Lebanon and Iran have a symbiotic relationship, dates back to Qachar's regime, from where this Shiaism traveled to Iran. Earlier, Iran was a Sunni state. So, and then this relationship continues, especially at the clergy level. And Iran definitely played a role as far as Palestinian cause was concerned. So, in which Lebanon also had a role. So, Israel considers Lebanon as a threat, especially the Shia Lebanon led by Hezbollah. And Hezbollah has a say in the Lebanese parliament as well. So in this background, Israel would consider and has been attacking. But at the same time, Israel shouldn't forget that it has been doing that at the behest of the Americans or with the American support. And that support means when America has been negotiating with Iran, it should have raised objection in the beginning when those negotiations were held. After the culmination of these negotiations, raising this objection that they reserve the right to, either accept it or reject it, that I think is not convincing. And there again, I must say that it is the United States which can in fact convince Israel, because Israel cannot do anything without United States pleasure. And what was the second?
The rift between the two
Trump,
leaders.
Netanyahu, I think Netanyahu has been, in fact, he took Trump for a ride. And now
He wheedled him into attacking Iran.
and Trump has now, in fact, realized that no more. He can't play with it.
Yeah.
And Trump is also a shrewd businessman.
Yeah.
And for him, having better relations with Iran is
Much more advantageous.
beneficial,
Profitable, if I may use the word. Yeah.
yes, than say Israel. Because Israel, in any case, owes it to the United States. It's not the other way around.
Yeah, of course.
From the day one.
Yeah.
So here, I think Israel will have to look at its own limitations, even if it enjoys immense support within the American and the American Jewish.
I think not anymore. Not anymore.
No, but American
because the
Jewish.
American public opinion is fast changing
No, public
against
opinion is
Israel.
separate. But the military-industrial complex and American Jewish population, which is very influential.
Influential and powerful.
And
Yeah, of course.
they, in fact, subscribe to these elections and their campaigns.
Imran?
Yeah. You see, he's right. Mr. Netanyahu took Mr. Trump for a ride. And Mr. Trump has realized that. And that's one reason why Mr. Trump did not share the initial document of this memorandum of understanding with Mr. Netanyahu. And Mr. Netanyahu was going left and right, trying to see or trying to understand, trying to find out what was happening between US and Iran. But at the same time, I must say that Mr. Netanyahu has not only been isolated, he has been rebuked, he has been rebuffed, he has been reprimanded by Mr. Trump. He has used expletives. He has used every harsh language. But you must understand one thing, we should try to understand the position of Mr. Netanyahu. He is in a desperate position. His political career is at stake. The elections are supposed to be held in October, but they may be before. September. They can be. They may be held in September. So, and the initial reports say that the Likud party of Mr. Netanyahu, they may end up securing about 41 seats, which is far short than the 70 odd seats which are required for in the 120 seat Knesset. And the opponents, particularly Naftali Bennett and his Gantz's
Chief of Army staff. They are hand in hand.
Yes,
absolutely.
and they can get about 60-70 votes, and then there are other parties like the Arab parties which can also get support. And so what Mr. Netanyahu is seeing an end to his political career. Mind it, he has been there for a very long time. He has served 6 times, and this would be 7th time. But you see, what he told the people, he could not deliver. He could not deliver the end of Iranian regime. He could not deliver the end of the nuclear program. He could not deliver the end of the missile program. He could not deliver the end of Hamas. He could not deliver the end of Hezbollah. He delivered nothing to his people. There was nothing except promises. So Mr. Netanyahu has, in fact, not only isolated Israel, it has brought great shame for the country. The country is isolated. Even its closest allies within the region are no longer with it. The Europeans are no longer with Israel, right? The Prime Minister is an ICC. ICC has issued a warrant of arrest for Mr. Netanyahu, and I think it's the Defense Minister, right? Cars, yes. Mr. Netanyahu's policies has brought nothing but shame for its country. And one thing, just a sentence too. I believe that this all process was starting in 2023 in October or September when but before that, Asif, before that, when Mr. Netanyahu in an address to the UN General Assembly, he flashed the Greater Israel map. And I believe and I hold that all this, the 7th October Hamas attack, was all planned by Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu. I strongly believe that,
so
because
to provide a pretext,
for that, because Hamas Foundation is financing, it was all being done through Mr. Netanyahu.
Well,
that's history, that's not what I'm saying.
This one angle. Well, gentlemen, I cannot help asking myself this question. I read an article in Washington Post a couple of days ago from Mr. David Ignitis, who's a specialist on Middle Eastern affairs. He says that, that there's a method, there's a purpose behind putting Mr. Jared Kushner and Mr. Witkoff as the main negotiators on behalf of United States, even in the trickiest of matters like technical matters like nuclear thing, for instance, where ideally some specialists, from United States, nuclear specialists or from the State Department should be participating. Now, he says that Mr. Trump is seeing Iran as a potential big cake, where a lot of opportunities exist to make money. And his representatives have also offered during the negotiations with Iranian negotiators that there is a chance for Iranian leadership to shun their hardliner posture and become part of the wider world. And if they play the ball, then $300 billion, the private investment fund, plus unfreezing of assets of Iran, etc., and further investment in all other sectors, particularly where civilian infrastructure has been destroyed, rebuilding that, reconstruction of Iran, will open lots of opportunities. Do you think that having two businessmen as front negotiators on behalf of Mr. Trump, it's a different ball game altogether?
I think yes, you have a point, and it is so obvious. If situation normalizes, especially with regard to removal of sanctions against Iran, and then unfreezing of Iranian assets is going to unleash more economic prosperity and dividend to Iran.
Yeah.
One thing. Secondly, if sanctions are removed, especially primary sanctions, which are American related, entities and personalities. Secondary sanctions, they had removed during JCPOA, after JCPOA was signed. So secondary sanctions are non-American entities and personalities. They can do business with Iran. Right now, in the energy sector, for instance, under the Marto Law of '96, no investment more than $10 million can take place in Iran. And Iranian infrastructure, especially energy infrastructure, needs these investments badly. And I think Iranians cannot be that hardliners, and they will not hate the money coming in, which can bring in prosperity to Iran. In fact, it would, you can say, add to the
well-being
morale,
of the
popularity of the existing dispensation
absolutely.
in Iran.
Yeah.
So it would be a big plus for Iran as a
And the common
as a
people
government.
will be happy, of course, about
Of
that
course.
as well.
So its trickle-down effect is going to be there, very much there. This $300 billion fund in which American money would not be involved.
Oh, that was from the regional countries.
But if it is the regional and other countries, but you can very well imagine that Americans are likely to come if primary sanctions are removed. Okay. And they would be keen to invest in their, especially energy sector, where American expertise are far superior than any other, you can say, the available expertise in the market. And more importantly, I think in Iran itself, the business community would be too happy to do business with the Americans. The way you see the Iranian society, which is quite progressive, which is quite enlightened, with 97% literacy rate. It would be a disappointment for the anti-clergy elements in Iran. Of course, they are expressing their disappointment because of this agreement, as well as the former king's son.
Yeah.
I think he failed. He failed to impress the Iranian nation as a whole. Despite the fact that there are, simmering dissent inside Iran. However, after this war and after the martyrdom of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who laid down his life, knowing full well that his life was under threat and he did not change his residence. So he himself offered the sacrifice just to lead from the front. And it has impacted the entire, you can say, Iranian setup, clergy setup, and those who have been fighting against Israel and United States. So in a nutshell, Iranians would be happy. And it will, in fact, it would be a positive development for Iran because Iran has been isolated almost for 47 years.
Yeah.
And this is the first opportunity they are getting.
Imran, it means that Mr. Trump is not a fool. I mean, he has been playing his cards. He's a wily,
definitely not a fool.
Wily statesman, I would say.
Both these gentlemen you are talking about, Mr. Kushner and Steve Witkoff, they were active in Gaza.
Oh, yeah.
Except the International Stabilization Force, in all tiers of the administrative setup, which was being established or envisaged for Gaza, Mr. Witkoff and Jared Kushner were part of that. Then these two gentlemen were also part of negotiations with Russia on Ukraine. Because that Ukraine is another place where a lot of reconstruction work has to be done. And Asif is right. The reconstruction work in Iran would be of grand proportions, and a lot of money would come, a lot of effort would come, and of course the regime, the dispensation at the moment, they would want that because the people there, we have seen that the people were not very happy.
There's a chance of a serious backlash,
Exactly. The people were not very happy with this regime. And once this war is over, the backlash then, or the day after, that's something which is of concern. People would want the prices to go down. People would want the availability of the daily things.
They would want to have economic opportunities.
Exactly. So the regime understands that on their own they would not be able to handle the reconstruction process or the economic.
They cannot handle the economy.
Exactly.
Economy
so they would need foreign assistance, and this $300 billion reconstruction
it will be a shot
fund,
in the arm. Yeah.
It would be of great use there, and be assured that the Americans would there, and I'm sure the regime there would welcome them with open arms, because that would help them in the the reconstruction process.
Wonderful. Gentlemen, last question before we say goodbye. It is now on record that the Qatari Security Minister, Mr. Ali Al Thawadi, has been the main go-between, Iran and United States, and he was holding a marathon, 17 hours long meeting, the last day, particularly before the agreement on the peace deal. Now, how do you see the Pakistan's role? Has it been diminished, or although we are being acknowledged as real peacemakers, particularly during this crisis. Now, how do you see Pakistan's role as a peacemaker? Should we be focusing naturally on towards our neighborhood, how to overcome the issues that we have with them, and continue to play the role as a peacemaker, or we will still continue to use force?
The source of solace and satisfaction for Pakistan should be that MOU talks about Islamabad MOU.
Yeah, the name is such, yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if there are 3 signatures, one by Mr. Donald Trump, second by President Pezeshkian, and third as a moderator is Prime Minister
Shahbaz Sharif. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this
speaks for itself.
You have made a history. Mm-hmm. That is one aspect. Forget about that. Who else? Other countries played their role. There is no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. But from professional point of view, I think Pakistan's role has been quite ahead, which has been acknowledged by the American side and the Iranian side.
Okay.
And as regards your question about the neighborhood, that is precisely the day after scenario. Mm-hmm. That yes, you have won laurels from the world as far as a mediator. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But your bad relations with Afghanistan is not giving you a good name. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Of course, India is, you all know that it is, Pakistan side had always said that we are ready for talks, but Mr. Modi somehow, he's not up to it. Well, we can wait, and Indians know our address. But immediately, I think we can address the Afghan situation. The kinetic ways which have been adopted by our side has started giving diminishing returns, because we have weaponized trade, we have stopped issuing visas, especially the medical visas to students, and the business visas. And for the first time, our finance minister has also admitted that our exports have gone down
because of the closure of the borders. Yes,
closure of the border with Afghanistan.
Sure.
Your quinoa and mangoes cannot go, and this is what, and it has been a big loss.
But we are getting them good quality here.
Afghans have also
the domestic
suffered. There is no doubt. But you don't restrict yourself to Afghanistan. It was ever since Taliban came into power, our trade with Central Asia had picked up 8 times. In 2020, your trade was hardly $50 million. And in 2024, the statistics which I have, it rose to
Afghanistan.
Yes, almost $500 million, and it was growing. It was growing, and with especially with the Uzbekistan, the trade has gone many times. So is the case with Kazakhstan. So here, I think we should look at the larger picture, and yes, we have a genuine demand that Afghan Taliban should take action against the TTP. It's a very genuine demand, but at the same time, the bulk of the TTP is in our KP province. You have to put your house in order.
So we have a skeleton in our closet, right?
No, yes, you have to first address the TTP here within our borders, and that is only possible if the people support your operations. And if you allow the people to take the charge, it should not be imposed on them. So I think when the people are with you, then you can resolve that issue pretty quickly. And that's very important. So I think those are policymakers they have to now sit back and give a well thought out
Strategy on that.
strategy
yes, yeah.
on that,
Yeah.
because that's in any case would also add another feather in Pakistan's cap, that Pakistan resolved its dispute with Afghanistan pretty
Peacefully.
quickly and
Peacefully. Yeah. Well, peacefully underlined. Imran?
We did play a very important role. There's no denying the fact. The world, the globe,
Certainly, yes.
accepts that Pakistan has played an important. Having said that, we do know that Qatar has also played a very, very important, a pivotal role, and it was acknowledged by Mr. Trump during his meeting with the Qatari Emir in France, in the G7 meeting, and he was full of praise for them. So yes, they did. We have played our part. It's an Islamabad MOU. The Prime Minister of Pakistan signed it as a moderator. We should accept that, and we should be happy about that, and we should be more graceful in accepting that, rather
Absolutely,
than
yes. That's
raising our. What I see is every media channel is asking only one question.
And we should also give due credit to other countries.
We should give due credit to other countries. I think the Prime Minister of Pakistan has credited Turkey, Egypt, Saudi Arabia,
Absolutely.
Qatar, which have played their parts. Yes, Asif is right that we need to do something about Afghanistan. Afghanistan has become a sore for us, but how are you going to we have only one problem with Afghanistan, and that is their support for TTP. And TTP has caused havoc in Pakistan. It is responsible for large-scale killings of our ordinary of our people, of our security forces, and they need to understand that. What I have seen is, I cannot challenge Asif's authenticity about Afghan affairs, but what I have seen is that they have shown no repentance. I don't see any repentance on part of the Taliban regime as far as controlling the
Any
TTP
sense
is
of
concerned.
guilt?
And there is no sense of remorse.
Yeah.
So, and they say that they invoke what is known as Pashtun Wali. Am I right? Pashtun Wali, and they're justifying this on the basis of Pashtun Wali. They are supporting, backing thugs, killers, murderers, thieves, dacoits, robbers, because of this thing. So I don't understand, how can diplomacy work with people who have such a frame of mind? He is right that in our house we need to put our house in order also. We need to do that, but we need to. There's got to be someone to tell these Taliban that, look here, there is a limit. You have got to respect. And as Asif again lots of time has said, that they're still living in the old mentality when they were. There was a guerrilla group. They are no longer a guerrilla group. They are a government, and they have to understand how the governments coexist. Same thing with India. We have been offering India diplomacy. We have been telling them to come talk to us on these things. We have not seen any positive indications from them, except few of their.
But they do not enjoy legitimacy. They are the government, but they have not been elected or supported by. Afghan Taliban, for instance, they are still a group.
But they're the government. We cannot deny the fact they are the government. Asif?
they signed the agreement with the Americans. Americans handed over power to the Taliban.
But how much legitimacy do they actually enjoy?
Do they care?
Well, they do not care about so many things. Yeah. So
Another
that's
thing,
the problem.
Imran has raised valid point as far as Afghan Taliban's approach towards the TTP, and can we deny the fact that despite the fact that there are no visas, no trade, border is closed, but smuggling is going on?
This is regrettable. You're right, mate.
Yeah.
So it means
For some elements, benefits, of course.
No, lack of governance, bad governance
Absolutely.
on our part.
Absolutely, I totally agree.
Yeah, sure.
So everything is going on. So what is not going on is the legitimate business.
Okay.
And these problems, one thing which in fact some Afghans have also hinted, is that is it necessary you go for the
kinetic resolution,
attacks, air
action,
attacks.
Okay.
You can use your intelligence-based operations on the ground, while you know full well where the TTP hideouts are. where their leadership is hiding.
We have to be careful about
Rather than
using
using
force. Yeah.
Air Force,
Air Force.
which causes collateral damage.
Yeah, certainly it does.
So here I think this is being discussed. So it is better that we should also discuss this.
But Asif, my one question to you, mate. You said we should use our land force, right?
Intelligence-based, not
to
land.
conduct intelligence-based.
Like what TTP does.
When you use Air Force, you minimize the possibility of your loss. But when you are and that there also, I believe, also intelligence-based operations through air. Here, if you go by ground on land, then there are chances
No,
that
that's not. Intelligence-based
greater.
operations are not like that.
They're not like that.
No.
Yeah. No, okay. Well, let's conclude
These
here.
operations are called intelligence-based operations.
No. The
that's what I heard
intelligence-based
the government
operations, what you do in KP, so you have information, then you.
So when we went and
In Afghanistan, you
bombed
have your proxies.
No, when we went and bombed
don't
them,
forget.
when we went and bombed them, were they not intelligence-based operations?
They are, but with the collateral damage
There
is
was
a
collateral
mess.
damage, yes.
You
You're
know.
right. Absolutely correct. He's got a point. He's struck the nail on the head as usual.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have run out of time. We would have loved to continue this interesting discussion, but the time constraint, of course,
I think let's
forbade us.
have another session about this particular aspect.
Sure, we can.
That Pakistan, what should Pakistan do now?
Okay, wonderful.
After getting so much praise from
And accolades, yeah, winning
And
accolades.
accolades
Yeah,
from
okay.
the world.
Well, okay, gentlemen, thank you. Well, we will continue to discuss various things that are happening not only around us, but also in the wider world. But so far, the tenuous peace is holding in the Middle East between the United States and Iran. It is hanging by a thread, and we hope that this will continue, it will endure, and it will solidify with the passage of time into a durable peace, because the world has been waiting with bated breath for this moment for the last couple of months, and the whole economy of the world was suffering. People, particularly in developing countries, they were the victims of economic hardships. So let's hope that this peace will continue. The negotiations ahead are very difficult. The road is quite bumpy and tortuous. We will have to keep our fingers crossed. We will hope that the two countries will be able to reach some kind of durable agreement, understanding on the tricky issues that lie ahead of them. We fear that some spoilers, particularly Israel and Israeli leadership, will abide by the understanding that has been reached by Mr. Trump on this particular issue. They will not spoil the atmosphere. They will not allow the things to get out of hand. So we will continue to discuss on this particular subject, and also, as Asif said, that we will have to discuss in detail as to how we have to go about putting our own house in order, and how we can reconcile with the Afghan leadership, particularly on the thorny issues that we have between us. So thank you very much for being with us. We will be back next week, and till then, it's Allah Hafiz. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and give your valuable comments on the discussion, because it enriches us for future discussions. Thank you very much. Goodbye.